Welcome to Out of Capes podcast for Flash, Season 1, Episode 1. And this is a weekly podcast that focuses on CW's The Flash series. I am your co-host, Stafa.
And I am the other co-host, Eric.
What's up, Eric?
I'm pretty good.
This is a pretty good season premiere.
Yes, it was.
But let's go into how this episode is structured, since this is the first episode of Out of Capes podcast for The Flash. We're basically going to do an episode recap, and then we're going to review and rate the episode, and after that, we'll give a wall to pretty much, be like, hey, if you don't want any spoilers, stop here, go away, because we're going to be talking about spoilers. So, onto the episode recap. This show pretty much starts off, Barry saying, hey, blah, 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 things happen, and, shows him as a kid and all, but it immediately goes into a crime scene investigation, and I thought this was an interesting part of the episode because, like, he was looking at the track, the tire track for the escape vehicle, and it showed all those measurements and everything. I thought this was really cool. What did you think?
I thought it was cool, but then I was like, "What? Is Barry a cyborg? How is he seeing all this?"
Well, like, what I liked about it is that it added like a detective element to the show, and this is something that
CSI.
yeah, and I would like to see much more of this in future episodes. I mean, like, that thing with the cyborg looking at the numbers and all that, they only did that once, but I hope that they do that more often because it was really cool. It made it seem like he's a thinking man. You know what I mean?
And that's the whole point. Barry's supposed to be kind of like the scientist, so they want to show that he's very scientific and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool. And then after that, we see. Well, we also get into during that scene we get introduced to what's his name, Joe, Detective Joe West.
Joe
Yeah.
West.
Yeah, Detective Joe West. And they pretty much show off that they have a strong relationship with Joe, covering for him and all that, and that Barry is always late. Whoa!
Setting up the always late thing.
Yep, he's always late, and it's ironic because he's so fast.
Exactly.
So after that, we see Barry. I mean, sorry, not Barry. Yes, Barry and the friend zone.
Of Iris.
Yes, with Iris. He got super friend zoned.
And
Like,
it's one of those friend zones where, like, they've known each other their whole life, so he's never gonna get out of it.
yeah, I mean, like, they build the relationship thing with the scene where he's talking about the poop, and then talking about the whole atom thing, whatever, the fusion explosion, whatever, and then they go to a concert or something.
They were going to the
Yeah, not
the grand, like actually them starting it up.
yeah, the fusion reactor or
The
whatever.
reactor's turning on.
Yeah, and he gets super friend zoned here. He's like, "Look, Iris, you're my best friend, and I want you to be more than my best friend. Oh, you could tell me anything about girls."
God. It's like, I love you, but as a brother.
Gets super friend zoned. So, and then we get to see the world's strongest laptop. I mean, come on now. Like, the dude stole the laptop and hit Barry with it like 20 times, full force. And Iris is like, my what was it? Her
Well, my
homework.
thesis.
Yeah, her thesis is on there, and it's like, well, not anymore.
But the point is always having more than just one copy of things. That's that important.
Yeah, dude. Dropbox, baby.
Dropbox or backup, everything.
Yeah, USB. Come on now. Obviously, Iris is not very smart.
No, she's not.
She. So, and with this whole scene with well, first of all, this whole scene it came off a little silly because like she's like expecting um Barry, this nerd who is not known for being like an athlete or anything,
Yes.
to go chase off this criminal.
Yep. Through the
How come she
street,
doesn't? How come she
jumping
doesn't
over
help?
things.
How come she doesn't help? Come on now.
I don't know.
She can run too. In fact, she's probably faster.
Probably.
I mean, Barry got long legs, but he's a nerd. He's not
Yeah.
athletic. He's always late. Doesn't she know? So, this scene led up to Eddie Thawne being introduced,
Yes.
aka Detective Pretty Boy, which Iris mentioned,
Yes.
and then the next scene was pretty much Detective Joe and his partner going after what's this guy's name, Clyde.
Collide.
Yeah, Clyde, and then Clyde, this genius mastermind, has an airplane for an escape vehicle.
No. Yes, he has an airplane that's being piloted by his brother who we never see. It's just
Yeah.
like his brother who we never see. And then supposedly they have an airplane. They also have a Mustang, but they need to rob banks for money.
Gotta do what you gotta do, baby. So, the pretty much Joe's partner dies,
Yes.
and Clyde, his airplane explodes because the fusion reactor explodes.
The fusion reactor explodes, and the energy went up into the clouds and caused a thunderstorm, and the thunderstorm hit the plane.
Mm-hmm. So, and also at this time, Barry gets struck by lightning as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
I mean, it's thunderstorming, so I'm going to grab the wet chains that are made out of metal. Brilliant deduction there.
He's a scientist, dude. Don't mess. So at this point, we get introduced to Cisco, Caitlin, and Harrison Wells.
Yeah.
Because Barry wakes up with a six-pack because a camera is pointing at his six-pack.
Yes.
For no reason.
How this particle storm gave him a six-pack.
Yeah. Because it's like those those infomercials with the belts that you put around your waist that sends electrical pulses.
We need to market this for weight loss.
That's what happened to Barry.
Oh my god.
So, anyways, oh well, one thing that's a Easter egg that was shown was a cage that said Grodd on it, but we can talk about that more during our spoiler section at the end. Barry, even though he was in such a hurry to leave Star Labs, he had the sweater with Star Labs.
Yeah.
He obviously went home to change clothes.
Exactly. What an investor.
Yeah, he
clothes to go see Iris, who's working at a coffee shop.
Yeah, he was like, "Hey, I'm in such a hurry, but can I keep the sweater?" And then, like, next scene, he goes change his clothes. Come on now, he obviously didn't care about that sweater.
Or maybe he put it up and framed it. Who knows?
Who knows? I thought this was I like the scene where he goes meets Iris and shows off his super speed powers.
Yes.
I'm kind of a sucker for the whole guy with super speed is in regular motion, everyone else is in slow motion.
Yeah.
I like when done right, I think that's a really cool effect. Like in Spider-Man 1, the Sam Raimi Spider-Man. When Peter Parker was in high school.
Yeah.
It reminded me of that, and it was pretty cool.
I also like the part where like he was kind of getting used to his powers, so he wasn't in full control. Like he just went right into it like a truck because he wasn't in control of it yet.
He just demolished that police car,
Yes.
left his fingerprints all over it.
And then the guy's like, just another day, and just continues working.
Yep. So I don't know. Like, what do you do to the guy who was throwing the laundry inside the truck? Like, what do you tell him? You're like, oh, science.
Try it. Yeah.
So what we got after that? We got the robbery with Clyde,
Yeah.
aka Tornado Man.
He's not a tornado man. In the robbery, he makes a blizzard. How is he Tornado Man, Staffa?
Okay, Weather Wizard. Tornado Man. So Clyde, he's the genius mastermind that he is. Goes up to the clerk without a mask on.
Yes.
Because he's a genius, and then creates a blizzard. And after that, there was a quick glimpse of Barry. He was in the police station, and he saw the dead partner of Joe West.
Yes.
Like, was that supposed to have any significance? Like, I don't even know who this character's name was.
Oh, okay. It was supposed to have significance because the whole point is Barry's the one that was pushing for. It was them, like it was those two brothers, and so the whole point is that his clue, he was right, but it cost Joe West's partner's life, though. That's what
Okay.
they're trying to say.
See, this is why you're on this podcast.
Yes.
See,
They're trying to say that like Barry's evident, like Barry. The whole point of Barry is that Barry always makes these weird, outrageous claims, and most of the time they're like either wrong, and this time he was actually right, and it cost that guy's life, though.
Okay, so that completely went over my head. To me, when I saw that, I was like, okay, why'd they show this dude's like desk with a aquarium on top of it?
Like memorial of all this stuff. In real life, they would just give the desk to the next person.
Yeah, like it was as if they
his wife, maybe.
as if they took his desk and they're like, okay, let's keep it as is and put like a glass chest around it. So I don't know. That went over my head, but thanks for giving your insight on that.
You're welcome.
So basically, this afterwards, after he notices his powers and crashes around the alley and everything, he starts testing his powers with Star Labs with Harrison Wells, Caitlin, and Cisco. So far, Cisco is to me, he is like this big goofball who is like trying so hard to be cool but isn't.
I mean, that's kind of based off his comic character, though.
I don't know anything about his comic character.
His comic character is called Vibe, and he is well known for being the most racist character because he's like Latino, so he's like your typical Latino stereotype, and he just talks about like using the vibe and the sound waves.
Oh man. So we'll talk more about the Star Labs. Well, okay, the other two scientists, Caitlin and Harrison Wells, are they also from the comics?
Caitlin Snow is Killer Frost, who's actually a villain.
Okay.
And technically, the boyfriend she talks about later on, I will say this right now.
Is this gonna be spoiler material?
It's not really.
Okay.
I mean, the boyfriend, they will like talk about the boyfriend later on.
Okay.
But yeah, she talks about her boyfriend. He worked at the thing during the explosion, and that's why she has the attitude she has, because her boyfriend died in an explosion that she helped create.
Yeah. So while he's testing his powers out, um, he breaks his arm and finds out he has a healing factor because his arm completely heals within 3 hours.
Yes. Particle
So
acceleration.
yes. Um, and then Barry, the master of not only being late but being in the wrong place at the wrong time, finds out about his friend zone, Iris, and Eddie Thawne
Yes.
together. So this crushed his heart even more.
That his rival is dating the girl he loves.
Hey, we don't know if he's his rival yet.
I meant like police rival. His dad's like her dad's police rival. Forbidden
Uh,
love, because she's like, don't tell my dad that I'm dating Eddie.
but then as soon as that happened, uh, Mr. Wrong Place at the Wrong Time and Criminal Genius come by. Their paths cross. So Clyde over there, Mr. Just driving by, and Barry like runs up and like teleports through the window.
Which, when I saw that, I was like, okay, he could possibly do that, which is just vibrating his like particles through the door. But I mean, like, this is the first episode. He shouldn't be like that ability yet.
Like I wasn't sure if that was supposed to be him jumping through the window, but like he just kind of like appeared on the seat.
I think what they're trying to say is he's so fast that he can, like, in the comics, Flash did have the ability where he could vibrate his particles through stuff in a way.
Yeah, but
But
like
to me, it just seemed like he shouldn't be at that level yet.
I didn't see it as that. I saw it as like they were trying to make it as if he jumped into the window, but like he'd be sitting on a bunch of glass if that was a thing. For
Exactly.
one. So like I don't know. I think what they should have done is like had the door like flung open or something.
Yeah.
That would have made more sense. But he gets Clyde to flip over the car, and then another person dies because Clyde makes a fog,
Yeah.
and car flips over. And then I love this scene that came up next um, with Joe West coming in, he talking with Barry. Barry's
Yeah.
trying to explain to him that's Clyde, and Joe is making the most silly face ever. Like he looks like he's gonna cry and he's laughing at the same time. He's like,
Yeah. Because the whole what they're trying to say is Barry always had these weird theories and everything. And so like so Joe West was getting tired of like hearing all these crazy theories.
but his expression just looks so goofy. Like I hope that this is not this guy's best acting.
No, it isn't.
Like, I
Pretty
hope
good.
this guy does better in the future because like I wasn't sure what expression he was trying to make other than like a combination of laughing and crying at the same time.
I don't know.
Like maybe he was supposed to look upset with Barry. I'm not sure, but it just looked really goofy. Like
Yeah.
it looked like he like just smelled some stank.
Yeah.
um. Okay, so after that, Barry goes talks with Harrison Wells, and Harrison Wells pretty much explains to him the whole Static Shock, Big Bang,
Metahuman.
metahumans, and then yells at him, telling him that he's no hero, which helps Barry motivate him to want to be a hero anyways.
Yeah.
Because when you tell
Reverse
somebody
psychology.
don't, what's that?
Reverse psychology.
There you go. That's it. Reverse psychology. Tell the kid, don't touch this, and then they'll touch it.
Yes.
Um. So we have a flashback scene showing Reverse Flash or Zoom.
Professor Zoom.
Yes. And I mean we all pretty much know who that's supposed to be.
Yeah.
I don't think. I
Like,
don't know.
I mean, they kind of like you can see the silhouette of a dude, and it
Yeah.
looks just like the Flash thing. Which in the show then it brings up Barry Singh because Barry has a suit now. He sees a guy wearing the same suit as him but yellow.
Hmm.
So then he's like, "What the hell's going on here?"
Yeah, and then that leads to Barry going to talk with our old friend Oliver Queen,
Yes,
and Oliver Queen pretty much tells him the exact opposite of what Harrison Wells tells him.
that anyone could be a hero.
Yep, and not only that, but they both impress each other. Cool,
Cool. It gets
cool.
to the point of where the hell these two cities are located. That Barry can just travel 600 miles, and they both share a prison system.
That's a good point.
Because both, like, his dad's in the same prison that his mom, Oliver's mom, was in.
Oh, was it? I did
Yeah.
not even notice that.
Yes. So which they share a prison system, but they're 600 miles apart.
That's great. Um, yeah, like Oliver just gave all the cliche lines, saying, "I don't think the bolt struck you; it chose you."
You're destined to be a hero.
Yeah, and then after that, Cisco reveals the suit, and I think it's a cool looking suit. The way how they explain it, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Like he says that it was supposed to be like for firefighters, this heat resistant suit, and it makes. I really like it when these comic adaptations take a superhero suit and then like
Explain.
um, yeah, they explain it or make it
Physically possible.
yeah, yeah, like
Because
they
when you're moving that fast, you're going to cause friction probably against the suit, which will cause flames. So if you have something flame resistant, then it probably won't catch fire.
yeah. I mean like the I like it when they make these suits practical in real life. Like for example, with Batman or Captain America, they're basically wearing body armor in the
Yeah.
movies. They're not just wearing spandex. Like the only superhero in these modern um, uh, comic to
Yeah.
movie or TV show adaptations that doesn't really have an explanation for a suit is Spider-Man. But I mean, like, not explanation, but a practical use for a
Yeah.
suit. But there is really no way to make a practical use out of spandex.
No. I mean,
But
you have more. I mean, with Spider-Man, you can say maybe since it's made of spandex, it's more like pliable or flexible that he can do all like the spider-like moves
yeah,
all around. But
yeah, but I mean, like, also
stretch a little.
his suit is so iconic that
Yes.
you can't really alter it and make it into body armor.
Yeah.
You know, with the Flash, at least they said, hey, uh, he's wearing heat resistant suit, so that makes sense, and I like that. I think that's pretty cool. And Cisco, being who he is, likes to make things aesthetically pleasing. I mean, they're making it his character that he likes things to be cool.
Yeah.
So that's why he's putting lightning bolts on it.
And like they're supposed to be speakers, so so Cisco and Caitlin can talk to him.
Hmm.
And so they put
Yeah,
another one on the other side just so it looks cool, and also explains why, like in the comics, Flash has these little things on the side of his ears. They're
yeah,
supposed to be wings, but they just did little lightning bolts.
yeah. So Joe and Thon, they find a Tornado Man.
Yes. Tornado Man.
They find Tornado Man, and Tornado Man claims to be God. And I love the line that Joe gives that why in the hell does God need to rob banks? that was that. I thought that was pretty funny.
It was.
So Flash comes in and figures, okay, he has to run the opposite direction of the tornado to try to stop the tornado, and we get the cheesiest line ever from Wells that made it into the trailer for the it seems like they only put that line in there just so it could be in the trailer for the
Yeah.
show, uh, or the preview for the show. And that was "Run, Barry, run!" It's like, come on now. No. Um. So he ends up stopping Clyde. Clyde gets shot by Joe before Clyde shoots Barry, and yeah, and then they basically Joe gives that goofy face again, say you're right.
Movie face.
He's like,
Mm.
yeah, you're right all along. Everything you ever said is true now. All of a sudden, and he pretty much gives he tells Barry this pretty much the same promise that Gwen Stacy's dad told Spider-Man in the Amazing Spider-Man movie. Basically, stay away from his daughter.
Yep.
Just so danger doesn't get to her. And then Barry visits his dad in jail with Moira.
Yes.
And
Probably off seed.
yep. And pretty much tells him that he's going to get him out of there. And after that, the final scene is with Wells. He goes through a hidden door, which is pretty cool. That effect with the door like opening up. And then he gets up out of his seat and sees a hologram of a newspaper from the future, April 25th, 2024, of the Flash being missing in a crisis, and also mentions a few things on Wayne Tech / Queen Inc. merger complete and Red Skies vanish. And I think we could talk a little bit more about that when we get to the
Spoiler.
Yes.
/ theories.
Yes. So overall thoughts. What did you think? Let's come up with a rating system real quick. Do we want to do a 5-star rating system or a 10-star rating system?
I say 5.
5-star, 5 solid stars.
Yeah.
Okay. So what would you give this?
I would say probably. I'll give it about 4.5.
Hey, I said solid stars.
Why 4?
Okay, 4. You know what? I'd give this.
It was good, but there's things that they could have improved on. The silly faces, and some things like we went over, like how he got into the car.
Considering that this is a CW show, and my expectations are lowered for like these type of shows compared to like something like Game of Thrones. Like I would not.
Without a big budget.
Yeah, like I would not compare the rating system or my criteria for rating a show like this versus Game of Thrones or House of Cards are not the same at all. So considering that, I give this a 5-star. I really like this.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty fun. It showed off Barry's character, like who he is, what he's about. That he's a thinking man, and even though like he has a lot of weight on his shoulders, like with his mom dead and his dad in jail and all that, he didn't let it consume him into darkness like Batman. He's still a more lighthearted character, and he seems to be embracing. By the end of the episode, he's embracing the whole being a hero and having these super abilities and all that. So I really liked it. I give it 5 stars. It was a very good premiere. Hopefully the rest of the season keeps up.
And as like with Arrow and Flash both doing well, they'll have more higher budgets.
Mm-hmm.
So the episodes will get better, and they'll be a lot better they'll almost be to Game of Thrones level, where it's going to have the budget and they can do better episodes.
I don't think it'll ever get to Game of Thrones level.
No, it won't. But I'm saying it'll probably. You know what I mean? They'll
Yeah.
have higher budgets and they can do more stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I like it though. If I think that this show would probably start pulling in more viewers as far as like, at least attracting more people to start watching this and Arrow.
Yeah.
Because Flash. I think Flash is probably a more appealing character for the broad audience than Green Arrow because of the fact he's a character with superpowers.
Yes.
People like to see spectacle, and because of that, and he's already in the suit. He's already zipping around doing stuff. Unlike Smallville, which for 10 years he never wore the suit.
I think with that was I've heard that they didn't know how they were going to end it or how long they were going to go, so they had to come up with like cheesy storylines to kind of like push the season along until they get to the end because they want to end it with him in the suit.
Yeah, but like it was bad.
It
I
was
mean,
bad.
like I mean, like especially when he was going around with that black trench coat.
Yes.
It's like, okay, this is totally not Superman. What is going on? But
Yeah.
like, episode 1, already in the suit, already saving the day.
Yeah.
He saved a biker from getting run over by a taxi.
Yep.
It was good. I liked it. I really liked it. 5 stars. I mean, bad acting on Joe's part with those faces.
But I mean, it's the first episode. They'll work on it.
Yeah, but like I'll overlook those goofy things. It was a fun show.
Yes.
It
That's the
wasn't
whole
like
point.
it wasn't like the amount of goofiness like in Gotham. Gotham just comes off as really goofy.
Yes.
It's like trying to be dark, but has silly things happening at the same time. Didn't work. So, anyways, we have an email address if you want to write in for like next week's episode. After they air next episode, and you want to write in with your thoughts, write into Capes. That's CAPES at outofcontinues.com, and we will read your feedback on the show. So let's go into our wrap up before we go into spoilers, because this might be the end for some people who don't want to go into spoilers. So let's go into our wrap up first. You can follow us by liking us on Facebook, following us on Twitter, leaving sorry, we won't have an iTunes yet, but we should have one soon. Well, we should probably have an iTunes by the time this podcast is up. Contact us by email at capes@outofcontinues.com. All these can be found at www.outofcontinues.com/TV podcasts. You can give me a tweet. I am at Sayedstafa. That's SAYEDSTAFA. Eric does not have a Twitter. So.
Nope.
Get with the times, bro.
Eventually.
So with that said, I'm Stafa.
And I'm Eric.
Later. Now we've given everybody a warning that we're going to the spoilers. I don't want to hear any complaints.
Turn back now if you don't want to. If you don't want to
Yeah,
hear.
this is your last warning. We're going into spoilers and theories. So first of all, Eddie Thawne. I want to talk about him real quick.
Yes.
In the comics, Eddie Thawne is Professor Zoom.
From
Reverse.
the future.
Yes, from the future. And basically, you could probably explain his character better than I can.
Okay. So Eddie, or they call him Eon Thawne, he comes from the future to basically stop Flash, well, without killing him, because if he kills Flash, then he kills himself, because I think he's somehow related to Barry. So he can't kill Barry, he has to stop Flash, so he's kind of like the opposite version of Flash. Yeah.
Okay. That's
The
not
thing
what I
is,
read.
they kind of hint that Harrison Wells is Reverse Flash from the future.
Like, what? I mean, I only read a wiki on him. I'm not, I don't read Flash comics, but from the wiki I read, it said that he idolized Flash so much that because he wants Flash to be the best hero ever, he went back in time to try to like pretty much push Flash to the limits.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Somewhat, yeah.
Okay.
There's different storylines of Reverse Flash, and that's one of the ones.
Okay. I mean, yeah, because like DC reboots their
Yes.
every so often.
I guess it's one of the things where there's multiple storylines for multiple characters.
Mm-hmm.
There's different interpretations of the Reverse Flash.
So this Eddie Thawne, the detective pretty boy,
Yes.
um, I think this is my theory. I think he is not Reverse Flash. He's basically his character is there to
A
throw
red herring.
off. What's that?
A red herring.
Yes, to throw off the people, the viewers who already know of
Or
Eddie Thawne and the Reverse Flash.
or they might pull an arrow, and where like he's not the first Reverse Flash. He's like the second Reverse Flash.
When that happened in Arrow.
Oliver's not the first Green Arrow. Slade's not the first Deathstroke. And
Okay,
Laurel's
okay.
not the first Black Canary.
Okay, yeah,
Spoiler.
yeah, you're right. I forgot about that, the Chinese guy with,
Yao Fei.
yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I'm leaning more towards that, he's basically there to throw off the audience,
Yes.
the real, Eddie Thawne or the real Reverse Flash is going to be Harrison Wells.
Yes.
That's why he was there, basically trying to, uh, subtly convince.
Push.
Yeah.
Kind of like what you said, like push Flash to be the best.
Yes. And we saw on that newspaper, it says Crisis, so I'm assuming that's Infinite Crisis.
And I've been told that the people who write it are thinking they might do it, the Infinite Crisis. But they might modify it a little, that way they can include Arrow.
There was also Red Skies Vanish, so I'm assuming that's some type of like Lex Luthor making the sun turn red just
Yes.
to like disable Superman's powers.
Yeah.
Because that's a thing that's happened.
Yeah. Red
Uh,
Sun.
yeah, so that's what I'm assuming that is. And the Wayne Tech / Queen Inc. merger complete. Do you think this might lead to, Batman being on the show eventually, or some kind of more than just seeing the logo of Wayne?
I don't know, because DC's been kind of where they don't want to do anything with the big three. They don't want
Unless
they
it's a
don't,
movie.
like, touch those three.
Yeah,
Movie.
yeah,
DC has their fingers all over both Flash and Arrow, so they decide what characters they can and can't do.
yeah. I'm agreeing with you on that. Like,
And we might see Bruce Wayne. We might see Bruce Wayne or someone from the Bat family, but I doubt we'll see the Batman.
If anything, it would probably be Lucius Fox.
Lucius.
Yeah. I think Lucius Fox might make an appearance with like the whole Wayne Tech Queen Inc. merger thing, but I don't think we'd see Bruce Wayne. I don't think we're gonna see Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I
Do
don't
you
know.
want me to get into the Caitlin Snow now?
Yeah, let's go into Caitlin Snow.
Okay. So Caitlin Snow, better known as Killer Frost in the comics, has ice powers.
Yeah.
And spoiler, whatever.
Well, we're
her
already in the
boyfriend
spoiler section.
Yeah, her boyfriend is the janitor at like the place where the particle accelerator went off.
Uh-huh.
So she believes he's dead. It has been released that her boyfriend's going to be played by Stephen Amell's cousin Robbie, and he's going to be Firestorm.
Okay.
Firestorm's one of his main Firestorm's rival, or one of the people he faces off a lot, / lover, is Killer Frost. So they're going to do the whole Caitlin turns in Killer Frost, and her boyfriend who she thought was dead is going to be Firestorm, the hero.
Yeah, that would be a pretty wet relationship because like he's hot and she's cold, and
Exactly. So the question with this is who's going to be a part of Firestorm, because Firestorm's two people.
Mm-hmm.
The whole point of Firestorm is two people combined to make that Firestorm.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's there's been like different incarnations on those two people. Yeah.
It is, but I think what they're going to do is the one there it is now, which is Ronnie. and Ronnie's like the body of Firestorm, but there's another person who's like the mind of Firestorm.
Mhm.
The Gorilla Grodd thing is probably going to happen.
Yeah.
It's just one of those Easter eggs.
Like I think there was an interview or some kind of article that mentioned that like all these Easter eggs are going to lead to something.
Yes.
Like they're not just Easter eggs, but they're going to actually, go lead to something. So, we're probably going to see a telepathic gorilla going around
Yes.
trying
Probably.
trying to rule the world.
Hopefully it doesn't look too bad.
Any other theories or spoilers that we want to discuss before wrapping up the show?
Okay. So in the comics, Weather Wizard is one like a villain that like the Teen Titans first face with like
Uh-huh.
Flash and everything. The name of Weather Wizard is actually the name of Clyde's brother. So a lot of people believe that actually Clyde isn't, like I said before, Arrow isn't the first Weather Wizard. His brother's gonna be the real Weather Wizard.
Mhm.
So his brother's actually not dead and didn't die in the plane crash.
Mhm.
That's one
Okay.
of the theories.
All right. If it were me, I would have just gone by Tornado Man.
He
Come on.
has other abilities. You just said he did fog and he did a blizzard. How is he Tornado Man? And then they did the cliche, how you stop a tornado? Go in the opposite direction.
All right. So I guess that's it. Let's wrap things up.
Okay.
All right. Let's. That's it. Later.
Later.